Pro. I was asleep when I heard the door to the entrance open, and I know that someone was in the house, but I was acting like I was asleep. Then I heard the feet walk into the bedrooms, then to my room. I went to sleep thinking they would leave, but would not leave. So I woke up and spoke. Ah, nice sleep. I got up to only see Izuku there. That shocked me. Oh, I did not know you were here, Izuku, I spoke. Izuku smiled and said this. Oh yeah, I came to visit you, he spoke. I was speechless, then said, That's cool, letting me make you something to eat, I spoke. He then finally said, Okay, he spoke. I got off my bed and headed to the bathroom with my clothes. I got dressed and we headed to the main room. We headed to the kitchen and he saw that he was going to have the best food ever. I got to making the food and he sat at in the dining room. I smiled and got the food done and brought it to him. I was good at cooking and he ate the food and it was good. I smiled while he ate and he heard a pogo stick go down the stairs. Tony, said Melissa. I'm in the dining room, I spoke. Oh, said Melissa. Here I come, said Melissa. No pogo sticking in the house, said Dad David. But Dad, said Melissa. Melissa, Dad said no pogo sticking, I spoke. Fine, said Melissa. Thank you, Tony, said Dad David. You're welcome, Dad, I spoke. Hey, Tony, who was in your room? Said Melissa, walking into the dining room. I think you know now, I spoke. Oh, hi, Izuku. You came to see my brother? Said Melissa. Hi, he spoke. So, kids, who is here? Said Dad David. It's Izuku Midoriya, Dad, said Melissa. Ah, you are here for my boy. So he will take you to the rink, said Dad David. What rink? He asked. The ice rink. It's where Tony trains for his job as a figure skater, said Melissa. All right, I have practice, I spoke. Okay, let's go, he spoke. Fine, let me change first, I spoke, heading out of the room and going to the bedroom floor. I came back in a suit and grabbed his hand, and we went to the ice rink, and he smiled. We got to the ice rink, and I took a seat and put ice skates on. I went to the center of the ice and looked at the invisible screen, and I pushed it, and the music started to play. I started to skate to the music. It was stunning and to watch for him. He saw me doing flips, jumps. It was awesome to watch for him. I did spins and started to touch myself. And it made him hard. He looked at me, did a black flip, and nailed it. I did some more, and then when the music ended, I smiled like there was a crowd of people cheering me on. I then pointed to him, and a set of ice skates showed up in front of him. He was shocked and I smiled. He put it on, and I told him to walk slowly, and I was right there and took his hand and helped him go to the center of the ice rink. And I picked a song and we started to skate together, and it was shocking to finally try something new. I smiled and dipped him and picked him up and started the moves of skating again. I still had a smile on my face, and we were in sync. And that we did not step on each other's toes. I was guiding him, and he smiled. When the song was done, we were clapping and whistling. We turned to see my family smiling at us. I smiled and started to take him back, seeing it to the city area. He sat on the bench, and I helped him take off his ice skates, and he smiled and and I took off my own. We got up and headed to the main floor. We had a drink and I smiled. We then started talking. So Izuku, was that your first time you skated with someone as professional as Tony? Said Dad David. Yes, it was, and it was fun, and I liked it. He spoke. So, Izuku, would you date Tony when he finds his other love interest? Sapad Sinai. Yes, sir, he spoke. I smiled, and Izuku hugged me. He was looking at everyone, and they were all different from me, but they loved me as their own child to them. When that was done, I went to my room to get changed. I came back in normal clothes and I told them I will make food lunch for everyone. They all had stars in their eyes. He laughed a little and smiled. I guess he is the best cook, he asked. Yes, he is, said Melissa. I wish was finished making food and then they came to get their plates and sat in the dining room in silence. I came as well and took my seat and smiled and ate as well. When we were done eating, I took him to my game room and we played games. It was fun, but it was time for him to go home. I smiled and kissed his cheek and he waved bye to my family and headed home. My family smiled at me and whispered he is a keeper. I smiled and went to my room and got to get more music to figure skate, then I went to bed. Melissa's Toshinari's Mirai Shield Provo. Me and my brother is going to have him as a boyfriend, and he will keep him and love him, and skate with him all he wants. I smiled and looked at my brother sleeping, and closed his door and went to my room, and I went to my bed and looked at the pictures we had. David's Provo. I was shocked that I knew that. I was going to ask, but I was keeping that to myself. And went upstairs and saw that the kids were quiet. I smiled and went to my room. Then read a book and fell asleep. Tonight's Provo. I smiled and went to my room and looked at the pictures of Tony. He is sure growing up. And I love how that he has had two lovers, not just one lover. Almost Provo. I was happy Izuku was going to be there for him, and I can trust Izuku again to take care of Tony. Went to my room and fell asleep and had a dream that of the two of them and Tony. The ice rink. Tony and Izuku skating North Victor and put Tony in North Yuri and put Izuku. Tony skating and North Victor and put Tony. And that is done.